Cage Minds, Micah Frankel, right now, joined by Vince Cachero. He's going to be part of LFA 45. How you doing, sir?
Good. I'm doing great, man. Excited for Friday. How are you?
I'm doing good. How excited? How do you feel 5 days out from a fight?
Man, just ready. You know, we spent the whole camp preparing for one night, one moment there, 15 minutes, and at this point, I'm just anxious and ready to hop in there. I'm very excited and happy, really, to get through camp and go in there and show the world what I'm about.
Weight cutting's been a hot topic, a big issue in MMA. Are you a big weight cutter?
Yeah, I mean, I cut a decent amount. It's not too hard for me to get down to 35. It's also not too easy. So I feel really strong in that division. I've never felt anyone stronger when I'm in the cage there. So I feel good. It's a perfect weight class for me, and it's nice and easy to make.
So not too tough.
Yeah, no, not too crazy.
And heading into this one, taking on Carlos Puente Jr., what do you think of the matchup here?
Yeah, it's a great matchup, man. Carlos is from a good gym. He's with Cub Swanson and those guys, so I know he's getting great work out there. He likes to call his style, or they like to call their style, beautiful destruction. My style is precision violence. So when those two clash head-to-head, I know it's going to be an exciting fight. So I'm excited for him to bring it, and I'm ready to go. Yeah, being out in California, you know, we see a bunch of the same guys out here. We see the names come up. We've seen other people fighting stuff. So it's no biggie. It's kind of like the rest of all the matchups. It's a lot of good competition, and it should be a good fight between us.
Where did you want to take your training coming off of the LFA 30 win? I know that was back in January. Where did you take your training next?
Yeah, so after the last performance, it was a good one. It was great to be on TV and show the world what I'm about. It's mainly a stand-up fight. I've been working more of my stand-up, working more of the ground game. We've been Kevin Casey's in my corners, so he's been there for the past 2 fights. We've been working a lot with him, and I'm excited to kind of take the fight wherever it goes. You know, I'm a well-rounded fighter. A lot of my last fights have just been purely stand-up, but I'm happy to take the fight wherever I want to take it.
You've been called a fan-friendly kind of brawler who loves to get in a bloody fight. Is that an accurate description?
Yeah, no, I mean, yes. I love a nice, bloody, violent fight. That's what people can expect every time I go out there. The thing is, I'm not a huge brawler. I don't like to be known as a brawler because my style is precise. It's highly technical but still violent. So that's what people should expect to see on Friday.
What's been the biggest part of the camp for you? What's been the theme of this camp?
The theme of this camp is just more focus. One of my coaches, Adam Lerner, has really taken me under his wing and gone out of his way to make sure all my conditioning is done right, to make sure that I'm recovering properly between sessions, and just really filling out my schedule with as much training that I can get in, and not just any training, but really focused training. So we're trying to build me into a complete fighter, one that can go out there and take the fight anywhere where I want to take it, and also excel in all the different positions, whether we're fighting on the feet, whether we're fighting on the cage, whether we're fighting on the ground. I want to dominate every single person I fight in every single position. So just having him put that extra focus into me has been a real benefit this camp. So
would you say you've been doing, just in general for your growth, a lot of specific things?
Yeah, exactly. We've been not just specific, but really going into each training session, focusing on a goal, focusing on something to get out of the training session, so that I'm not just going jiu-jitsu just to jiu-jitsu. I'm not just going to wrestling practice to do wrestling. You know, I'm going into those working specific setups, working specific attacks, working specific hip positions, whatever it is. Each training session is highly focused, and it's really making a difference in my game. I can feel it when I'm out there sparring, and I'm excited that I can finally go into the cage with a really focused effort and to show who I'm about.
How does that change training on a daily now? Just how you feel in the mentality going from letting it flow to having these specifics that you're working on?
It makes training a lot easier. You know, I go in, I have my stuff I need to get done, and I do it. And I feel the growth, and I can feel the change. You know, after each training session, after each sparring session, I can see exactly what I've been working on and how it's been helping me. So it's making everything a lot more fun for me, too. Not that it wasn't fun before, because I love fighting, but it's just amazing. Everything's on point right now.
And also, it's very well noted, you have a very close relationship with Terrion Ware. What's it like getting pushed and beat up by a guy that's at a high level like Terrion?
Yeah, it's awesome, man. Having a guy like you, we push each other. Iron sharpens iron, and it's cool, man. I've been training with him since his amateur days, since before I even fought. And to see him growing to become a UFC fighter, and now he's getting ready to fight and get his first win in the UFC, which I know he will get. But having him there is just extra motivation for me, and it's awesome, man. He's like a brother to me, and I can't thank him enough for everything he's done to help me grow as a fighter as well.
Well, tell us about your timeline. When did you start training?
Now, I started training just for fun in about 2010. I was just doing like some kickboxing classes, some jiu-jitsu and stuff outside of school when I was going to college. And then when I moved down here, I actually went to one of Terrion's fights, and it was an amateur fight. And I saw some of the other guys in the car. I was like, man, I could probably take one of those dudes. So I really got into it around 2013, and that's when I started fighting.
While you were going to college, did you already know that you wanted to get into MMA training or combat sports somehow, martial arts?
Yeah, well, growing up in Hawaii, man, BJ Penn, he's just a legend. He's royalty out there. So watching that dude all my life, or, you know, once the UFC started getting popular, just seeing him, hearing his name around. While I was in college, I was going up to school in San Jose, so AKA was big. I knew that there was some gyms to train at, and I played soccer my whole life, so I needed to figure out something else to do because I love to compete. And I just hopped in the gym, and one thing led to the other, and here I am.
What was it like taking the first amateur fight then?
It was crazy. You know, just a completely different experience. That's actually the only fight I've lost in my entire amateur and professional career, because I'm undefeated as a professional. But it was just something totally new. You know, I was really nervous, a little too nervous. I got caught in something that I was training to get out of. And it also was something for me that I learned. It was a big learning lesson. And I knew I had to dedicate more time in order to be a successful fighter. And once I had that first loss, you know, I hopped in the gym and I was just training all the time. And it was a great learning experience.
When did you know that professional fighting was going to be your route?
You know, I actually want to say after my first professional fight. Through my amateur career, I was doing well. I won an amateur belt. I defended it in a good promotion out here in California. And I took my first pro fight. And after I got that win, I realized, you know, how much I love this. How much I love this game, and that I can actually be successful doing it as well. So that was really the moment that defined everything for me, and ever since that time, you know, fighting seems priority number one, and it's just on the top of my mind all the time.
And during this journey, where does the photography and videography fall into place? And I heard you have a job with Black House. Where did that fall in from? I don't believe that's what you were going to college for.
No, actually, yeah, I went to school for finance. So I graduated magna cum laude with a degree in finance, but, you know, that jet life job wasn't for me. So I ventured around a bit, found fighting. But the photography and videography just kind of came to me, man. I've always been interested in art. I love tweaking on little, like, creative things. When I played video games when I was younger, I used to do all of the creative player modes. I'd create teams on Madden and FIFA. And so while I was fighting, I watched a adult jiu-jitsu highlight online. I was like, man, I should try to do something like that. And I picked the camera, and it just kept going from there. And somehow I ended up working at Black House and shooting some of the best guys in the world, and it's just been a blast ever since.
So how much time do you work and how much time do you train?
depends. You know, like when I'm outside of camp, I'll take some more freelance gigs and stuff, shoot on the weekends and things. It actually fits in perfectly to my schedule because normally I'd go to training at my gyms or I would train at Black House, and then after that I'd shoot a little bit extra at Black House as well just to get enough content to produce for the week. But, you know, it doesn't hinder my training schedule at all. So I'm training pretty much all the time, and then whenever I do have some downtime, I usually shoot photo or video.
During camp, does it feel like you don't get away from fighting between doing the work, going to Black House, and then being at your own gym when you're in camp? Does it feel like you get a little trapped around fighting?
Not so much. You know, I love the game so much that it's fun for me to express my more creative side through the art. But, you know, while I'm, like you said, it is fighting. So while I'm shooting these guys, you know, I'm analyzing the footage through my eyes as I'm shooting them live. So that's fun, and I feel like it helps my training in a way. It's actually added training time for me. But I'm not one of those guys that really needs a whole bunch of downtime and I need to escape from fighting. Like, fighting's a big part of my life, but it means something to me, and that's why I keep it that way.
Have you ever picked up something that you didn't mean to? And I don't mean like in a negative, but just all of a sudden you started rolling and you're like, where did I pick up this move I just did? And you realized that you were watching somebody else did it while you were shooting them?
Yeah, absolutely, actually. I've been hitting a takedown that I see Bubba Jenkins hit all the time at Black House. And I tried it out for the first time the other week. I was like, man, this thing really works. I was like, Bubba's legit because, you know, Bubba's my dude. I love editing his footage. He's obviously an amazing wrestler, NCAA champion. But shooting some of his stuff, shooting slow motion, and then when I'm editing it for the Black House videos, I'm like, man, maybe I should try that. Maybe I should check it out. And so, yeah, I'm sure there's a bunch of little things that happen in my training that, you know, I kind of see guys do and see my footage, you know, and then I just kind of copy it on my own.
And also getting this opportunity, you have the opportunity with Black House, opportunity with LFA. This is going to be your third time fighting with them. What's that like, getting an opportunity to be with one of the feeders to the UFC, to the bigger promotions?
Oh, it means the world to me. And LFA is always pumping out guys to the UFC. You can see on their social media and stuff, every single UFC card that comes out, they have like at least 5-6 people that have fought for them before, which is crazy. So I'm happy to keep fighting for them. And I'm happy that I keep getting matched up with really good opponents too, because I know the UFC likes the undefeated fighters, but I want to keep myself undefeated, and not just undefeated, but I'm fighting quality guys as well. So I'm happy that I'm doing it at LFA, and that I can be on TV, and you know, who knows, maybe that LFA belt is going to be hanging out there for an opportunity as well. So that could be there.
Last time out, it was a fight of the night. What's your goals for this Friday night?
Yeah, my goal is to make the fight exciting, like always, and that comes naturally just with how I fight. But to put my opponent away. I had a few chances to put Nolan away. I almost did. You know, it was a crazy fight of the night. There's 4 knockdowns in the first round. I had 3 knockdowns. This time, when I knock my opponent down, I'm going to put him out.
Going back to that last fight, you look back at it. Was that one of the crazier rounds you've had so far as a in the cage during a fight?
Yeah, certainly. It was a wild round, a completely wild round. You know, he went down 3 times, and right in the last 10 seconds, I heard the bell, and I was trying to time a big overhand right, and he just threw a flying knee that landed right before I landed, and it was pretty nuts. I was pretty cautious the whole time. Like, I fell down, and I started scrambling to grab him, and then the bell rang. And I remember thinking that right after that, as soon as the bell rang, in between rounds, like, man, that was fun. That was crazy. So, yeah, it was definitely a wild round.
No thought in your head, damn it, I knocked him down 3 times, and he got me right before the bell. No thought of that in your head?
No, I mean, I keep it positive. It was more so like, damn, that was fun. And I was excited. I was hoping to finish him in the next round, but, you know, that dude's really tough. Nolan's a great fighter. He's one of the top-ranked guys in California, and he really brought the fight. That guy's a warrior, but I proved that not only can I hang with dudes like that, but I can beat them. I can dominate them.
How much did that do, you think, for A, your confidence, and then just B, your stock?
Yeah, I think, for confidence, it was, again, just a proving ground for me. I knew I could do it in my head, but actually going out there and proving it on the bigger stage, on TV, it just gave me a huge boost of confidence that I can go out there and do it again. And in terms of stock, man, I got to be knocking on the door soon. If I keep beating guys like that and keep my undefeated record, I know that the UFC will have eyes on me, and I know that I could possibly get there, especially fighting through a great organization like LFA. I'm coming, man.
Vince, it's been great getting to talk to you. I got to thank you for the time. Last but not least, were there people that you needed to thank and shout out to?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Micah. It's been great. Just want to give a shout out to some of my sponsors. We got Punch Cars, Louis Gear. We got all the guys at Fight Tips Online. And of course, everyone that supports the Anomaly, man. I love all you guys, all my people in Hawaii, my family, friends, and of course my teams, A4 Boxing. We've got Fight Science MMA and the guys at Black House. I'm excited to go out there and do work.
LFA 45 on Access TV Friday night. Check it out.